must be pretty happy with how the team's going if you've named an unchanged side this week.
I think their performance over the last couple of weeks determines that, and they deserve the opportunity to play again. There's no doubt about that, but they've still got to come back and play at that same level tomorrow. You
obviously can only beat who you come up against, but does it worry you that you haven't beaten a top 8 side yet this season?
Yeah, it definitely does. That's the challenge for us as a football club, is to understand exactly where we're at and understand the size of the challenge that we've got tomorrow afternoon here at Adelaide Oval, and it's one we're totally informed about. It's one we've just got to come and perform at our best.
What have you learned in your study of the Western Bulldogs?
Look, there's obviously a lot of the obvious stuff that everyone sees. Their ability at stoppage, their ability to throw the ball around, their team defensive structures are really strong. I mean, they're the best defensive team in the competition, so we know there's going to be some significant challenges. They are in the top 4, that's why they're in that position, so we look forward to the challenge.
Keith Thomas said during the week in an email to members that there are some games there comes a time in a season where some games are more significant than others. He said this is one of those matches. Your thoughts on that?
Look, no hiding from it, Andrew. I think it's a significant game. I mean, we've probably been in a few too many of them over the last few weeks, to be honest, but this is no different. But it's a great opportunity back home, Adelaide Oval, for our fans, and hopefully we can get a big crowd here tomorrow and perform at the level that they expect and we expect of ourselves. And yes, there's no hiding from the fact that it's a big game for us.
And can you prove something, as you said, you didn't beat the top 8 team yet, even though your last 2 wins have been terrific? Can you make a bit of a statement by beating the Doggies? Yeah,
it's not so much the statement of beating the Doggies for us, it's the building of belief in what we're trying to achieve. Now, you get levels that you've been tested at so far in the last couple of weeks. We've been able to pass the test. We know this is another step up again tomorrow, but our plan is to be a part of the best teams in the competition. To do that, you've got to beat them.
That belief, and you're just talking about the sort of understanding of where you're at as a club. Do you have any questions over your ability to go with the Dogs, or is that pretty sound in your mind?
No, we have some questions. There's no doubt about that, Harry. We certainly can, we look at it in the reality, and the reality would suggest to us that we've still got to be proven at this level, and we've still got to take that opportunity to prove ourselves. And yeah, there's some questions there. I'm really confident the boys have got the ability to answer those questions the right way, but we've still got to do it.
Is it exciting for you to sort of, come up against the side, and you will learn stuff about your side this week, given that it's a real opportunity? You said it's a big, significant game. Is it exciting for you?
Yeah, it is. I think it's a great opportunity when you get to play in big games that got a significant outcome on them for you, and it's just a good test for you to see how your improvements go, and whether it's consistent, whether it's reliable. I'm excited to see what the end result is tomorrow. I'm not sure what the end result's going to be tomorrow, but I just want to make sure that we come with the right effort.
Do you feel like you're in the best nick of the season? I know you've got some injuries to key personnel, especially down back, but do you feel like it's coming together okay and that you're building?
I think we're playing really well as a team, probably, and you're right about the injuries. There's some personnel that are missing that we'd like to have in our team in best form, but right now I think we're playing as consistently as we have as a team for the most part. Well, this part of the season certainly, but I think it's not only just been the last couple of weeks. In my belief, it's been a little bit longer than that. I think if we go back, we've been getting on the right track for a little while.
You spoke to the players about the Bulldogs. Obviously have a great record with free kicks this year, the biggest differential. A lot of head highs. Have you had to speak to the group about that this week?
Look, we've identified the fact that they've got some boys who are not that tall that do get free kicks that they deserve, in my view. You're not allowed to be tackled high at any stage, so I think that's not an issue for me. We've made mention of the fact that some of their players are smaller in size, and that you need to be lower in the tackle to make sure we don't give away sloppy free kicks. So I think more often than not, it's a sloppy free kick that you're giving away, not what the Bulldogs are doing.
Okay, so have you spoken obviously about that? Have you practiced that routine again during the week at all?
Now, we always practice some tackling, so we're a pretty good tackling side, so we look forward to the opportunity to be tested again, and that's what we keep talking about. The test is against the better sides in the competition, and the Bulldogs are that.
So it's more reinforcing?
Yeah, well, our behaviours are pretty consistent in tackle, so I think that's okay, but there's certainly teams that you've got to be aware of that there's some differences about the way they go about things that you've got to make sure you're ready for.
Not concerned that Troy Pennell is one of the umpires tomorrow, given his record in the Bulldogs Crows game?
No, I don't worry about the umpires. I think do a great job, and that's all I care about. They're there to try and do their absolute best in a really challenging game to umpire, and I think they do it pretty well.
You mentioned the Bulldogs' defensive record. Why are they so hard to score about?
They do it together. There's no doubt about that. They're the most connected team, I think, as far as defence goes in the competition thus far in the season. Does that mean they'll stay that way? I'm not sure. That's Luke's challenge, but I'd say they're the most connected defensive team in the competition, and they, you know, when one part moves, they all move. That's, I think, when you know you're in good shape.
Ken, after the GWS game, the chairman was pretty vocal about how everything was going at the club. And since then, you've said you've been building over the last couple of weeks. I think he's in town today. Is he taking the opportunity to say well done over the last couple of wins?
Dave's a really honest person. He supports us all the way through. People read too much into some of those things. And from my point of view, he's a really, really supportive chairman, as is Keith as the CEO. So we're really comfortable at Port that we are capable of challenging each other and not doing any more and not taking any other way. It's a great way to be when you've got to, got to own up to what you're doing.
So do you find the way he phrased, I know at the time there was a few question marks over whether he should have come out and used the forum that he did to say what he said, but did you find that constructive in hindsight now looking back?
No, I don't. Like I said, David and I talk all the time. He says to me whatever he needs to at the right time, and I have the absolute greatest respect for him, and I think he's a fantastic chairman.
Ken, Charlie Dixon, halfway mark of the year, how have you rated his performance for Port so far?
Very good. Very good. I think he's been everything we were hoping for, and probably a little bit more.
Why did you have so much faith in him? Obviously forked out big money. Why did you have so much faith in him, given he was a little bit inconsistent and had injury problems at Gold Coast?
Oh, look, there's no denying what his ability is and what his competitive nature is. That they've always been there. Yeah, he's had some durability problems, and he's had some some issues himself away from football. But he's a really honest person. He tries to not let people down as much as he possibly can, and he has made some mistakes. There's no doubt about that. But he's a pretty honest bloke. And as I said, from the day we got him, I said I knew one thing was going to happen. His teammates were going to love playing with him the first day they played with him, and that's exactly what's happened. They just enjoy his contest, and they know that he will work really hard for them.
Have you seen him mature a little bit since he's been here as well?
Yeah, I think that's some really pleasing part for me. As I've said a couple of weeks ago, not only have I seen the player improve, I've seen the man improve, I reckon, and that's a real tick for Charlie and the way he's gone about it, because this was a pretty significant step for him in his life. He's a Northern Queensland boy, lived his whole life up there, and he's going to come and live in a city that he knows nothing about, that's mad football state, that opens himself up to a lot of issues that comes with good and bad form. But so far he's been able to handle all those things.
Any fitness concerns from the team that you've known for tomorrow?
No, not at this stage. Everything's okay. So, unfortunately at the moment there's a bit of those dreaded bugs that go around, and you're just never sure. You wake up in the morning, we had one, Broadie up in Alice Springs, but right now we're fit and healthy, and touch wood, they'll stay like that till tomorrow.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
Thank you.